This is the repair process for the Currie Electric Drive e-bike control panel, which has a known failure and is failing for many, many bikes, where the rubber for the button controls is disintegrating and the bike becomes inoperable. The company no longer exists, so there's no replacement parts, and so there is a fix using some aftermarket parts that I designed to help fix this for a few folks. So what we'll do is we'll remove the existing degrading rubber buttons, and we'll replace it with a new cover that uses a flexible membrane for the buttons and then presses down, these press down into the pockets. So the first step is going to be to remove the existing rubber. And so I'll just use a little screwdriver and kind of go around the edges and pry up the existing rubber from that's degraded. So we'll just get this out of here, pull this out, and then you'll want to clean up the edges as you go along the different edges to make sure that 100% of the rubber is removed. Sometimes this can be really goopy. In some cases, this one came out really easily, but I've had some that needed quite a few Q-tips to really clean up and was quite a mess. So first step is to remove the existing rubber button cover. Now that we've got all the rubber removed, next thing we need to do is clear out some of the holes that we're going to use for the screws to mount. And so included in the kit is a very tiny drill bit. And we'll take the drill bit out and then use it to clear. There's small holes that have a little bit of rubber in them. So we'll go in and kind of just use your fingers to clear those out. So we'll need this one and this one in the bottom left. And then there's two in the top right. You can see are filled in still. But if I use the drill bit to get in there and clear out that rubber, it makes it easier to mount. So just use your fingers. No need to use a drill for this. We're just clearing out. You can see that there's a little piece of rubber that came out of that that we want to clear out. For this next part in the assembly, we're going to insert the push buttons and do the rest of the assembly. And so we'll need one of each color of the push buttons, and then we'll need the key for which button goes in which spot. We'll need the cover plate with the tape attached in the back, and then 4 1.2 millimeter screws. And for tools, I like to have a small pair of tweezers, and you'll need a small screwdriver that you may find for an eyeglass repair kit or a watch kit, or maybe you have a small screwdriver like this. So I like to use tweezers for this part. So I'll pick it up and grab it with the tweezers. And for the green one and the black one, the orientation is important. So there's a correct way and an incorrect way. And when it's in there correctly, the curvature of the button will match the curvature. So if you put it in the wrong way, it'll be sticking up in the wrong direction. So I'll put the black one in, or the green one, then we'll put the black one in. This can be a little tedious. I'll press the button to make sure it's working correctly, and we'll test them all before we attach the tape. So next the white one goes in, and then the gray one. The gray and the white are bidirectional, so they don't have a correct orientation. You can put them in either orientation. There's little wings to align them. And then once you have put all the buttons in, you'll want to test each one. So just press down, and you should be able to feel the electrical button depress underneath, and you should get a little click, electrical click of the switch. So those are all in correctly. Next, we'll need to remove the tape. This can be a little tedious as well, so sometimes the tweezers can be helpful here. And we want to remove the red film that is attached. Sometimes I like to start at a corner, but this can be actually kind of the hardest part of the entire assembly, is getting this tape off. I like to grab it, get it started. There's a piece of it. There we go, the tape is coming off. And then with the buttons in there, I like to line up the long flat section first on the bottom. Push it all the way up against the rail. And then press it down so it's fully seated. And then you should hold this in place for about 20 to 30 seconds to make sure that glue is all fully seated. And the tape acts as a membrane. From here you can press all the buttons again. You should be able to kind of feel them depressing underneath. They should all work. And then finally we attach the screws. So I'll just do one at a time. And those go into the screw holes that are underneath that you cleared out with the small drill bit. So go in here. And once you have all 4 screws, and the screws just add some additional mechanical force. You can see that I'm pressing into the screwing in underneath, and this will ensure that it never comes off. And throughout the process, you want to keep testing the buttons and making sure that they are working properly. Oops. You should have an extra screw or 2 in the kit in case you lose one or one flies away. And then all you need to do is hook it back up to the bike and it should work correctly.